Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Friday, the 9th of April, comes to you from London. And as we head into the weekend, we see quite a bit of red on the screen, so a bit of a mixed picture just at first glance. Looking first of all at currencies, this is the dollar index, my long-term, medium-term and short-term view of the market, weekly, daily and 60-minute cloud charts. Very simply, if we're below the cloud, we're bearish. If we're above the cloud, we're bullish. Different trends, and how do we resolve those with the corresponding point and figure targets. So we see that the dollar is making that long-term recovery, and 2021 is going to be a much better year for the dollar than 2020 was. And already on the medium-term chart, we're through that cloud, and we are showing a pattern of higher lows and higher highs. And as technical analysts, we like that. But this week we have seen the dollar falling back. So dollar weakness is the theme on the short-term chart, but we are in a medium-term and long-term transition to bullish. The euro has looked stronger against that weaker dollar this week, but again we are in a medium-term bear trend. And against the yen, the dollar yen is an important chart because it just gives us a heads up as to what the dollar's really doing. It's a bit of a lead indicator. And we're seeing here that the dollar yen has had the dollar's fallen this week against the dollar, having broken that 110 level. But the trend is very much up, and we were making 12-month highs there. Sterling sitting just below the 137 level, and so it's had an even weaker week than the dollar, which was already weak. So weaker than a weak currency, if you like. So sterling has seen a sell-off, and against the euro we've seen that weakness as well. We did break 117.50, and this is a big down week for sterling, so we have seen that fall back there. Bitcoin sitting at $57,900, just taking us into some short-term bearish territory, but very much looking like we're lining up for another run in Bitcoin. There's the trend, and we can see here that we've got this sideways triangle building. These breakouts normally quite explosive, some big upside targets to play for in crypto. Looking at the S&P 500 index, it was up yesterday, edging higher all the time, bullish on all three time frames, and we will get another target off this thrust off the bottom as well. The Nasdaq still not managing to make a new high, but it is pushing for that, and we are still bullish on all three time frames. The key thing will be to see that market making a new high. The futures, the S&P future is up slightly, the Nasdaq E-mini is down slightly, the VIX volatility sitting below 17. This is the lowest level we've seen since the start of the pandemic. So the fear index of the market is low, meaning the markets are taking everything in their stride. The FTSE future is down slightly this morning. The DAX is down very slightly, and the CAC Current is up very slightly. So not much change there. We said Japan is up just under 0.5%, and most other Asian markets were lower. Hang Seng was lower, the Sensex was flat, and the Aussie market was just under slightly. So no big changes here. The Aussie market breaking there to make multi-month highs and pushing for a new all-time high there. Gold is sitting at 1746, holding on to its gains, bullish on that short-term chart, having made a double bottom on that medium-term chart, so looking a bit better there. Silver down 1% this morning, but holding on to its short-term bull trend. The thing that's been really getting markets worried has been bond yields, and this week they have been weaker. We're sitting in the high 160s, having hit the high 170s. So the trend is still very much up. We do have this big target of 3.3% to play for, but for the moment bond yields have been weaker. We're up slightly this morning, and the 30-year yield is also displaying much the same behaviour, no surprises there. A quick look at the energy mix. Brent crude is lower this morning, really struggling, having made those falls away from the highs, and we're really range bound. 61 is the key level for Brent crude. For WTI it's 57, very much stuck in the range. US nat gas sitting at 251, really stuck in the doldrums around this 250 level. Coal has struggled to break the 73 level. We do have an upside target of 76.50, but we do seem to be just pulling back for the moment. Got a couple of downside targets there now to play for. Emissions just up slightly this morning, sitting at 43.63. Still looking spectacular on that daily chart. good upside targets. Refer back to our emissions report out to clients a few weeks ago. Gas markets having a good week. MBP up 1.3%, but it's a bit range bound here between 46 and 49 pence per therm. And if you look at TTF, much the same picture, just struggling to hold that €19 mark. We are above €19, but is really just in this range at the moment, and we have got a couple of downside targets back below 19, back into the 18 level. Keep an eye on the 1 minute charts on your OTC data. German power having a good end to the week, 57.35, nudge 58.50 in the week, hit most of the upside targets. We'll need to wait for new price action, probably now early next week, to give us the next leg up. And Nordic power up slightly it's up nearly 5% on the quarterly, has had a big turnaround in the last couple of days, but still bearish on that short-term chart, bullish on the longer-term chart, but downside targets and targets in both directions and resistance defied, not looking as strong as German power. A quick look at the COVID cases before we head into the weekend. Europe not looking too bad now in terms of the lockdowns actually having their impact. UK continues to fall on the cases. We're seeing the US just starting to creep up a little bit, 5 times higher number of cases than the UK, so that is a little bit of a concern. Some countries in Europe, Greece still gaining, but most countries seeing a fall away. India, the big concern at the moment. This is new cases, and we've seen a 10-fold increase here from really, well, more than 10-fold, nearly 20-fold increase. So India is a concern at the moment, seeing cases taking hold there. The death rate, little kick up in North America as well, a little bit of concern. Most European countries flat, UK continues to fall. That's it for today. Have a great weekend. Until Monday, happy charting. See you then.